All right, you guys, so we're gonna open this thing up with some grounding, and then we'll flow into our journaling, and then after that we will move into some stretches. So we have about 8 stretches that we'll do today, so hopefully that will get you nice and opened up and feeling good and allowing any stuck or stagnant energy to be moved out of the body. So welcome in, you guys. So I'm going to be using this. I've got like my notes and my guide and all of that stuff. So it's been a minute since we've done Stretch Club here. Just a reminder for everybody as well, the videos will be filmed and recorded, so they will be available for replay for you to come back to again and again if you need to this week. And those will be available in the Sensual Movement Lab on Patreon for members. So if you are a member of the Sensual Movement Lab, you will get this video back. So if you guys are joining on TikTok, hey everybody, I'm probably going to be like facing out a little bit in this direction. I'll do my best to turn back here, but I'm on Zoom and we're recording here too. So alrighty, so this session is your space to slow down, check in, and let go of what's been on your shoulders. I know for some of us it could have been a really busy week. I know for some of us it could have been a busy month. For some of us it could have been a stressful year, like whatever it is that's going on. You know, maybe you had a deep realization this week and it's something that you need to simply just sit with, you know. Maybe something came up for you. And one really important thing to note is if you follow and track anything in the sky, we just had a full moon, and the full moon culminated in the zodiac sign of Capricorn. And so what that means on just a more grounded earthly level is in the area of stability, in the area of structure, in the area of concrete, in the area of letting go. And full moons do represent sort of a shedding or a letting go of. The full moon illuminates, and so this can sometimes bring new realizations or new information or a culmination point. So if you've been feeling like that lately too, just that, you know, something is ending or something new is brewing, or, you know, taking inventory on things that you might need to let go of, just know that the timing of it all is perfect timing. This was a couple days ago, so we are now in the waning phase of the moon, and so this is the time that we scatter the seeds, that you take the wisdom or the illumination point or what you've learned over the last 6 months, over the last year, over the last couple of days, or even just if we want to slow that down over the week, and we can let it settle. Okay, so today this is your opportunity to just sit with it. Okay, your safe space to just be. Let's see, I said 2 days ago, the full moon in Capricorn combination gives us the energy where things peak. This is also around responsibilities, goals, and boundaries. What have we been holding on to? And what is it that we can go ahead and shed, release, and let go of? As the light is starting to wane, this is the disseminating phase. This is a moment for releasing and grounding what we've learned. So today we're going to be breathing into the wisdom of the body and giving ourselves permission to soften the grip. When we start, I have an introspective sort of journal prompt here for you, and if you have your journal, you'll want to go ahead and take that out. We're going to do that first, and then we're going to start with our stretching. So before we begin writing, though, we'll go ahead and settle in, and we're just going to take some grounding breaths here to get us settled. So if you are already seated, that's perfect. You want your sits bones on the ground, so feel free to maybe move the fleshy parts of your butt out of the way so that you can really root and sit down. And I question you to think about how many times you've been able to bring yourself into a space of presence this week, or even just this weekend. I made a video recently and I talked about prioritizing your well-being. How do you prioritize your breath work? How do you prioritize your movement? I had a sister reach out to me on Instagram and she sent me a really beautiful message, but she was basically just like, help, I'm struggling with everything, with all of just the juggling of all the things for life, and I am not getting enough rest. Like, I'm not getting enough time. And I feel like one of the things that was really major in that is that rest is not a reward. Your rest is a requirement. You resting is like, you don't hustle and bustle and go through everything and say, when I'm done, like when I'm done, I'll rest. I'm almost willing to promise you that if you don't take the time for intentional rest, if you're not taking the time to intentionally care about your well-being and to pour into yourself in whatever format that looks like for you, you will be put down. You'll be put down, whether that's through a sickness, whether your body gets sick, whether that's through an injury, you get hurt in some way. It could be something so subtle as a headache that causes you to be like, you know what, I can't really do anything. I need to take a rest. I do believe that there is a time for push through, right? There's a time for push through, but in the same breath, there's also a time for rest. And one of the main points was that we need to schedule in that rest. You schedule it in the same way you schedule your nail appointment. You schedule it in the same way you schedule your hair appointment. You schedule it in the same way you schedule your gyno appointment or your vision appointment or whatever it is that you do, your therapy appointment, whatever it is that you do on a consistent basis that you have to schedule and you put it in your calendar, your rest, your self-care, your mind, body, and spiritual work should be included in that. And so that's what we're going to do today. That is what Stretch Club is all about. Stretch Club is your scheduled weekly self-care and self-check-in session. So sitting up nice and tall and straight, we should all be settled in at this point by now. If you are over here, I invite you to join in. We're going to do some breaths. We're going to entertain the idea of our thinking prompt, our writing prompt, and then we're going to stretch a little bit. So sitting up nice and tall and straight, we're going to start with a basic sigh breath. Okay, so doing some sigh breathing. And I want you to just allow your shoulders to relax away from your ears. So oftentimes when we're stressed, when we're tight, when we're tensed, our shoulders have a tendency to live way up here in our ears. Or you find you're sitting, you're slumping, the shoulders often creep up like this. So I invite you to just allow the shoulders to drop down. And we'll do that by inhaling, bring the shoulders all the way up to the ears on purpose. And then exhale, let them fall down. Push those shoulders down as far as you can get them, right? Really creating like a long space here in the neck. And then we'll just sit up tall and straight because, as we know, if we're hunched in like this, we're squishing the lungs, we're squishing the diaphragm, and it makes it hard to really expand the breath. And I want you to think about that word expand as you're breathing today, and think about this idea of being expansive. I want you to allow your breath today to expand you, okay? Allow the breath to fill you in a way that feels big and expansive, not in a way that shrinks us. I think that when we're going through the things of life that cause those more negative feelings, anger, frustration, pain, grief, sorrow, hurt, it wears in our posture. And it changes our breathing pattern. It changes our breath. And so we want that breath to feel really expansive and big today, okay? So we're going to breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And then we're going to open the mouth and push that breath out with a sigh. Again, inhale through the nose. Big inhale through the nose. Inhale. 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 Exhale. Two more side breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Big sigh. And we'll take a gentle body sway. And so we want to work with subtle movement and deep breaths. And so as you allow your breath to sort of return to a normal rhythm, I invite you to just bring a gentle sway from side to side. And we'll loop the shoulders up toward the ears on an inhale. And exhale the shoulders down. And so what we'll do with the breath to keep it sort of rhythmic here is inhale, we're going to hold, and then we're going to exhale. Some people, when they are doing their breath work, they work with counts. I think that because each of our lung capacities are different, I think that because, everybody's capacity to take in oxygen is not the same, I'm going to invite you to count, but you don't have to count. Okay, I see you like raising your hand. Exactly. You don't have to count. But if you want to count, if counting is your jam when it comes to doing your breath, then what we'll do is we'll inhale for 4, hold for 4, and then exhale for 6. The idea here is to get that out breath, that exhale, to be just a little bit longer than the inhale to keep us in a relax. So we'll try that again. Inhale, hold, exhale. And this is all through our nose. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale. And so what I want you to continue with that pattern of breath, but we're going to go ahead and create a thought here. Okay, what I want you to do is think about what has been sitting heavy in my mind and body lately. What has been sitting heavy in my mind and body lately? And lately can look like yesterday. Anything heavy that's sitting in the body yesterday. We can expand that out to this weekend. What feels heavy that's sitting in the body from this weekend? And then we can expand that out even further this week. What has felt heavy in the body this week? Heavy in the mind this week? Are we ruminating? Are we having thoughts over and over again? Are we speaking things that are not life-giving into our experience? Are we experiencing trouble? What has been heavy on my mind and in my body? Maybe this month. Maybe this year. Maybe the last few years. And honestly, for some of you, there might just be things that have been sitting heavy in your mind, in your heart, in your shoulders, in your hips, that have been there for years. So if you have your journal, I want you to just touch on that for just a second. What has been sitting heavy in my mind and body lately? And maybe you write that down as a list. Maybe you write that down as a few little bullet points that you want to revisit. Or maybe right now you need to offer yourself the space to fully go in. And I invite you to do that, and I want to give you that time and space and opportunity to do that. So if you are still breathing with me, we are still breathing in through the nose, holding, and exhaling. What has been sitting heavy in my mind and body lately? And I encourage you to think about the first thing that comes up for you. Even when I say that, what is sitting heavy? What is weighing on you? What are some of the first things that come up for you? And for those of you guys that are on the Zoom, if you want to, I see some chat going up on the side. If you want to put it into the chat, you can also do that. You can use the chat. Over here on TikTok, if you guys want to put in the chat, you can do that too. Let me know what has been sitting heavy in your mind or body lately. Breathing in, hold, exhale. Breathe in, hold, thank you for the hearts, exhale. Thank you for the gift. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. And so now that we've kind of jogged that up, we brought to the forefront what might be sitting heavy in our mind, what kind of thoughts we've been moving through, what might be holding and resting or being stagnant in the body. And now I want you to think about, what do I want to loosen my grip on today? What can I loosen my grip on today? What am I able to, under the energy still of this Capricorn full moon, when it comes to the things that are our heavy responsibilities, to the things that are our goals, to the things that are our boundaries, to the things that surround our money, our work, our stability, our structure. What do I need to loosen my grip on? What can I let go of today? And again, you can simply just write that prompt down and visit it later. If right now this is the only time and space that you have, that you've ever had to journal, you can write that in. If you're not so much the journaling type and you simply just want to type it in the chat, let me know what is something that you can loosen your grip on and let go of today. And as we stretch and as we breathe, we're going to give that intentionally an opportunity to move its way out. So what can I loosen my grip on? What can I let go of today? Maybe you can let go of limiting beliefs today. And I feel like that's such a trendy word and a trendy thing to say, but a limiting belief is simply something that is stopping you from stepping into your best self. Your limiting beliefs are those thoughts and those little things that you say and little jokes that aren't really truly jokes because they're rooted in truth about why you can't, why you're not, why you don't. So we'll just take one more moment to write those answers down. I see some of you putting it in the chat over here on Zoom. What is something that you can let go of today? And if you're done writing, or if you're not writing at all, we can go ahead and start to move through the shoulders. Move through the neck. So we'll drop the chin to the chest. And we'll inhale and we'll just slowly begin to create some circles with the head. And so drawing a circle with the nose. And we're just paying attention to any areas that might feel tight, stiff, sore, or any areas that feel good. And you can hold into those areas. If you come across any area that feels really yummy, or maybe you come across an area that feels really tight, I want you to hold in that spot. And we want to breathe light into that area. As you breathe, remember what we said in the beginning, we're expanding. So we want to breathe, we want to expand. And so you breathe right into the area. I want you to understand when it comes to sensual movement, this is all about finding what feels good in your body. We'll go in the opposite direction. And when we think about finding what feels good in the body, it takes a level of awareness. We move very slowly so that we can feel and observe our way through. We take note of what it feels like. And for each and every one of you, that might be different. Maybe some of you are getting some popping sounds, some neck cracks. But I just encourage you to roll slow, 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 slow. And I always say, when you think you're going slow, slow down even more. Most of us are moving incredibly too fast through everything that we do. And it isn't until somebody tells you to slow down that you're like, whoa, damn, I didn't even realize I was moving so fast. We'll take the shoulders again for a loop up toward the ears on an inhale. And then we'll exhale, drop those shoulders back down. Again, keep it in flow. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So for today's movement, for today's stretch, we're going to be seated on our mats. You can always modify the stretches, okay? This is about finding what feels good for you. If you need pillows, if you need yoga mats, if you need props, whatever it is, you can do that. It's better to do your stretch modified than to not do the stretch at all. So today we're going to be focusing on our hips, our hammies, and our low back. Okay? So go ahead and get started. We're going to start with a seated forward fold, you guys. So if you've been sitting crisscross applesauce, you can go ahead and shake your legs out. I feel like my foot's literally like falling asleep. Okay, you can wiggle out the toes. You might get some crackles. And we're going to open our leggies. Yes, and so it doesn't matter how your V looks, okay? If your V is small, that's fine. If your V is wide, that's fine too. I want you to open up to whatever is a comfortable position for you. And we're going to take a forward fold here. So what I want you to do is keep your spine nice and straight, okay? We're not gonna collapse like this into the stretch, okay? Shoulders round and collapsing in. But we want to move outward, keeping our back straight. Exactly. We can inch the hands out. For some of us, this position right here, this is it. Like, this is it. It's not going any farther than this, and that's fine. And so what we'll do is we'll breathe here. So we're taking deep inhales and exhales, and I want you to get very used to breathing through your stretches, okay? This is where we are going to marry our breath with our movement, and this is where sometimes you can really begin to see sort of just how amazing our own breath is as we begin to find ease. One thing I learned a really long time ago is that breathing through the discomfort will bring ease eventually. Stretching is one really great example of that, because when you first get into a stretch, there's a discomfort, right? Like, stretching isn't the most comfortable shit that we can do. Like, let's be honest. And when you're not very flexible, stretching can feel like, what the, you know, what the fuck is this? But what I want you to pay attention to is as you sit in the stretch and as you just breathe, it begins to not feel as bad. You also realize that you can sink deeper into the movement with your breath. And so on your next exhale, I want you to see if you can, keeping the spine straight, chest toward the floor is the intention, whether it goes there or not. Walk your fingertips out a little further on an exhale. And breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And one last time, breathe in, and we'll see if we can work our fingers and work our body down just a little further on the exhale. Breathe out. And I want you to recognize, and for the sake of time, obviously, like, we're not going to stay in this one stretch. But I encourage you this week to pick a stretch and stay in it for about 5 or 6 minutes, just one. And as you breathe your way through that stretch, I want you to see where your starting point is and where after 5 or 6 or even 8 minutes you end up. I bet if you continue to breathe and find ease and exhale by slowly inching down, you can get way farther than you thought you could when you started out with the stretch. And we'll slowly, very gently walk the hands up. And so we're going to pull the soles of the feet in together. So slowly bringing the feet in toward one another. Everybody's done a butterfly before. We're not flapping our legs here today though, okay? We're just gonna sit up nice and tall, and we want to draw the tops of the thighs down toward the mat. So if your legs are up here, that's fine. If you need to support your legs with something, if you have your props with you, you might need, maybe you need a block to support the leg, or maybe, you know, to put it right there so that you have some support. But we want to draw the legs down. And we breathe into our stretch. So just inhale, nice slow exhale. And we want to keep the pace that we had going earlier. So breathing in and then breathing out. Breathing in, breathe out. And we can find a little gentle sway here. So keeping your sit bones rooted, okay? So keeping your butt planted to the floor. See if you can move the upper part of your body without lifting your butt cheeks off the ground like this. So this is very subtle, right? Just very subtle. Keep your back straight. And maybe even we're still thinking and we're still holding that thought prompt, that journal prompt of what is it that I can loosen my grip on. And just observing anywhere in the body where you might feel tight, where you might feel stiff. Good. We'll slowly assist and place the hands underneath the legs and help close the legs up. And we'll come back to crisscross for just a minute. So we're going to take a side body stretch here. So I'll have you plant your left hand, and we'll take the right hand out, palm up, and we'll inhale up, and then exhale as you lean over. And so we're really stretching into the side body. I want you to open up your side, and we'll breathe right into that side body. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And you just observe what it feels like to expand into that, what it feels like to breathe into that side. Inhale. Do you find ease? Is it a little difficult? Good. And we'll come to the other side. Right hand is going to plant into the mat. Left palm reaches up and over. Inhale. Exhale into it. Three deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale, beautiful. Inhale, sit it up. We're going to cross the arms in front, so let's give ourselves a little huggy hug here. It's a good way to stretch out the upper back. And we'll switch the hands, so bring in the opposite arm on top this time. Maybe move from side to side. Down and up. And beautiful. We'll release that on an exhale. So we're going to move into some cat cows. Okay, so I'm gonna have us change some positions here. If you have your pillows, you may want to pad your knees, okay? So for those of you that may have a little bit of an issue in the knees, it's okay to pad the knees. If you have your towel, whatever it is that you have to put under the knees is fine. And you guys, for the sake of my TikTok being over here, I'm going to face this way so that my ass isn't all in the TikTok camera. So you guys over here in the Zoom get a booty shot. But we're gonna get on hands and knees for our cat-cows. Okay, so we'll open up the knees just a little bit. Knees are stacked over the hips. We want our wrist and shoulders stacked. And while we're here, before we start, you can stretch this out too we can bring the butt to the heels. And lift it up. And again, bring the butt to the heels. Lift it up one more time. Booty to the heels. Good. Come on back into our tabletop. Again, if you need to readjust or restack the wrists, shoulders, knees, and hip points. And we're going to inhale. And then exhale, round the back up toward the sky. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And bring the heels back. And we'll just sway the hip from side to side. So bringing it a little past the foot. It doesn't matter what side you're on. And we'll do the same thing over here. So just finding some movement through the hips, finding some movement in the back, and then we'll come back for another round of cat-cows. On an inhale, bring it back to tabletop. Exhale. On an inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round it forward. Round it up toward the sky, not forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. So we're going to step the right foot up. We're going to come into a low lunge. So we're going to take that right foot and step it up. Very good. So finding your balance, if you need to, again, we talked about props. You can bring your blocks to the side if you need something to hold on to. If you have something taller than that, whatever you need to hold your balance. And we'll take 3 deep breaths here in low lunge. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. So we'll bring that right foot back. I'll turn around for you guys. We're gonna step the left foot up this time. And so we don't want the knee to pass the toes, okay? So we're not leaning like this with the knee passing the toes or the heel lifted. So you wanna make sure you step that foot up high enough so that the knee is in line with the ankle. We should have a kind of a 90-degree angle going on here with the front leg. Meanwhile, the back leg is being stretched, okay? And once you find your comfort here, we'll go ahead and start with our deep breaths. Okay, so we'll do 3 breaths here as well. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Beautiful. And you can lean back just to counter. All right, and we'll bring that left leg back down. So we're gonna move into everybody's favorite stretch, and you know I'm lying when I say favorite. Some of you guys, it really is your favorite. We're gonna take frog. We will always take a frog. You should be doing your frog stretch at least once a week, if not every day. Okay? If you need any assistance, if you have pillows that you need to pad under your knees, go ahead and do so. Remember, nothing should be painful, okay? I want you to listen to your body, pay attention to your body. This is really all about opening up. Again, we're using our breath to expand. This is about moving energy through. I know some of you over here are talking about how you already feel energized. That's good. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Don't be overboard. Okay, so we're gonna open the legs. Okay, and bring your calves are gonna be parallel with your mat. Okay, so toes aren't touching like this in the back, but feet are out. Okay, and then your foot, we don't have our feet turned in, but we're gonna put the feet out also. Okay. Now, if you're really, really flexy, you might be able to get into this and maybe be all the way down on the ground. Okay? I'm not that flexy, and I'm not trying to be that flexy on this video here today. If you need to stay up like this, you can stay up like this, okay? We're gonna do a little gentle rocking first. Gentle, very gentle, okay? Just enough to find the edge. And the edge of your stretch is that point where you can, it's the intersection between this is completely comfortable and easy and, ooh, that's a little more difficult. That is your edge. Stop there. Do not go beyond it. So I'm gonna come down onto my forearms and we're gonna hold here. We're gonna take 5 deep breaths in frog. 5. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. I want you to pay attention to what you feel on the exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remember to let that breath expand you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Perfect. Very, 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 very slowly with care. If you're on your forearms or flat, we'll come onto the hands. If you're already on your hands, we'll take the legs and we'll bring the big toes together. Okay? You can begin to walk your hands back and start to bring the legs in. Okay? Any questions? Everybody's good? Okay. How's everybody over here on TikTok? Y'all are good? Did anybody do the frog stretch with us? All right, we are almost done here, you guys. We've been here for almost an hour. We're gonna close this thing on out. We're gonna do a supine twist. So go ahead and lay down. If you have your pillows or your blankets or your blindfold, like your sleeping mask or anything else that you're going to be using for the breath part at the end, I want you to go ahead and bring that into your immediate vicinity now so that you don't have to move to go and grab that. And we're going to get ready to lie down onto our back. And so we'll take the knees and we'll slowly bring them up. We'll hug the knees into the chest. And we'll rock from side to side. So we're going to extend that left leg out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And on the exhale, we're going to bring that leg across the body. So we're wringing it all out. Side body stretch. And we'll breathe here for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Last breath, breathe in. Breathe out. And on an inhale, we'll go ahead and come back to the center. We'll bring the left leg up. And we'll extend our right leg out. Deep breath in, and on your exhale, we're going to let that leg cross the body. Three deep breaths here. In, out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And on an inhale, We'll bring both knees to the chest again. And we'll round the knees, okay? So we're making like circles with the knees. And straighten the legs up. Flex the feet. You guys can't see my feet over here on TikTok, but they're flexed. Point through the toes. And slowly bring the legs down. And we're going to extend both legs out. And we're going to get ready to breathe and close this thing on down. I'm not sure how Adele got on the playlist, but... All right, we'll bring one hand to the belly. You can bring one hand to the heart center. You can rest both hands here at the belly, at the sacral. Or you can bring your hands straight out to the sides. So it's going to be up to you guys how you want to lay. Remember, if you need to put pillow under your hips, you can do that. You can put pillows under your knees. I want you to get nice and cozy. And we're going to do some box breathing, okay? So again, this is another breath technique that does involve counting. But I want you to be a little bit more intuitive about this, okay? I think that we can sort of intuit what feels good. So if a 4-count box breath doesn't work for you, don't do a 4-count box breath. Like if you need 6 counts because you have a bigger capacity, then take that. If you have to do 2 breaths because your capacity is smaller, then do that. But the idea is an equal part breath. So inhale, a hold, an exhale, and a hold. And all of these are going to be for the same length of time. Okay? We want to breathe into the belly, you guys. So you should feel the belly rise as you breathe in and the belly fall as you exhale. That's the only thing I want you to really, really focus on, okay? Is equal part breath and holds and getting it into your belly. And we'll breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, breathe in, hold, out, hold, 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 in, hold, out,
hold. In, hold, out, hold. And I want you to continue at your pace. And I want you to go ahead and allow your breath to settle back into a normal rhythm. And just observing any thoughts that might have come up, any sensations that you might feel in the hands, the feet. And we can begin to wiggle the toes just a little bit, bringing some awareness back into the legs, waking up the body. Waking up the tops of the thighs, waking up the belly. And circle the wrists. Opposite direction. Waking up the shoulders. And waking up the back of the head. And when you're ready, you can bring the soles of your feet back to your mat or to the floor. And we'll raise the left arm or whatever arm so that when you turn, you'll be facing me on your screen. And we'll just allow the legs to fall in that direction as well, so we're coming on to the side. And you can hang out here for just a moment. When you're ready, we will take the palm, use that as an assist, and go ahead and push yourself back up. Hi, welcome back. Oh, you can come on into a crisscross. Sitting up nice and tall and straight. And so as you're sitting up and as you're settling back in, we'll reflect here for just a moment. Again, if this is something that you want to write as a prompt to come back to, you can grab your journal. You can just take some time. What felt good for you to let go of today? In the beginning, we talked about what's been weighing heavy in the mind and the body this week, or today, or this month, this year, or just in life. And as we brought an awareness to those things, and as we brought those things to the forefront, the next question was, what can I loosen my grip on today? What is it that I'm able to let go of just a little bit today? And understanding that when we move, we are moving energy. When we breathe, we are moving energy. So in the chat over here, if you guys are on TikTok, let me know how you feel now. If you stretched with us, how are you feeling now? If you breathed, if you did breath with us, how do you feel now? Do you feel more open? Do you feel more expansive? Do you feel more energized? Do you feel more flexy? Do you feel ooey gooey, right? Like, what's going on? What felt good to let go of today? For those of us that sort of put words to what we could let go of, how does it feel to have maybe been able to energetically release some of the weight that's been holding on to you this week? And then the last thing that I want you to think about before we close and finish for today is, what do I want to take with me into the week ahead? What do I want to take with me into the week ahead? And this is a great time to write this down as your intentions for the week. What type of attitude, what type of thought processes, what type of energy do you want to take into the week ahead? How do you want to step into your Monday tomorrow? How do you want to feel tonight before you go to bed? How do you want to feel this week? And one of the easiest ways to do that is to think about that in one word. To think about that in one word, right? Maybe this week you want to feel happy. Maybe this week you want to feel vibrant. Maybe this week you want to feel loved. Maybe this week you want to feel productive. Maybe this week you want to feel free. Maybe this week you want to feel healthy. Maybe this week you want to feel abundant. What do you want to take into the week with you? And so if you have one word, over here on Zoom, put that one word in the chat. Over here on TikTok, if you have one word, put that one word in the chat. How do you want to feel going into this week? Speak it out, say it, write it, put it out there, put it into the world. I want to thank you guys for joining me here today. I want to thank you for coming to Stretch Club. If you want to revisit this breath and stretch session, the replay will be available inside the Sensual Movement Lab for members on Patreon. And you can come back to it whenever your body needs it this week. I think that this is a good one to do maybe in the morning when you get up, or if you don't have time in the mornings, you can prioritize time this week in the morning. And or it's a really great one to kind of just do to wind you down before bed. If you are not a member of the Sensual Movement Lab, it is my online studio on Patreon. It is $18 a month for the lab, and there is over 111 videos inside of there with sensual movement, with chair dance, with all kinds of goodies on the inside. So that's where the links live. You know how to get there if that's something you are interested in. And I just want to thank you guys. I'm going to go ahead and close out TikTok. Now this is live on Zoom as well, so if you are a member of the Sensual Movement Lab, you do get the link to the live Zoom so that you can be a part of the little growing community of people that we have over here. This is a fairly new stretch club, so you know, we are growing. So if you would like to be a part of that, or if you know anyone that you feel could benefit or wants to be a part of that, by all means, join the Sensual Movement Lab so that you can be in the Zoom. We're going to chat over here, so you guys hang on. I always want to give space if anybody has anything to say, but I do like for that part to remain private. So on TikTok, I want to thank you guys for joining me, and I'm going to see you guys next time. And for those of you over there on Zoom, we will continue in a minute. Thank you guys.